Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news for you, and the headline reads: Southwest in trouble as 13 hunters from Kano on spy mission came to monitor the advancement of Amotekun and security breach. But before we go into further analysis, we would like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, let's go straight to the news of the day. In case you have not heard this, the writer says it was recently in the news that at least 13 suspected bandits wielding dangerous weapons were arrested by Nigerian police in Ekiti, a town in Emure local government area of Ekiti State. According to the report, which quotes the Ekiti State Police Public Relations Officer ASP Sunday Abotun, with the help of the people of that community, we arrested those people, about 13 of them, who said they were hunters from Kano. The report explains that it was some security-conscious members of Emure Ekiti who raised the alarm when they noticed some strange faces. They then reported to the police, who arrested them. Next, the police said they were still interrogating the suspects. He now said, here are 4 things Nigerians generally need to know about suspected bandits. Say 1, they are hunters of human beings. By this, he meant that they are spies sent to come to Yoruba land to find out how effective Amotekun is, among other things. That's the only reason why they can come all the way from Kano to Ekiti just to hunt. Recall that the member of Miitiala had said they were afraid of Amotekun. Next, he said they were ready for war and would bring their knights and kings from across Africa to come and help them in executing the war to take the whole of the country, which he described as their only heritage from Allah. He said 2, such spies have been sent not only to Ekiti State, but also to other states of southern Nigeria and the Middle Belt. They are not being sent for nothing but in preparation for the so-called battle Miitiala chieftain talked about. 3, the spies are sent out in different forms as headers, cobblers, hawkers, and so on. I remember sometime, that's the writer now is saying, said I remember sometime that happened last 2 weeks. He said he was at the pub in a state of the southeast when a Niger-looking hawker came around with some items. When people asked for the price of the items, he told them, but when they tried to haggle over the price, the hawker busted into anger, very hot anger at them, and just left. From the level of anger the hawker manifested, it was clear to any discerning person that it was not the price of the item that was the issue. Instead, he clearly hated those guys for who they are. So he looks like someone on a mission other than just selling. Otherwise, why should he left so easily and angrily just because someone haggled over the price? And if that's the way he has been reacting to would-be buyers, then he has not been selling anything. So who pays his bills then? Obviously, some desperate sponsor out there somewhere does. He now said 4, that he believes that the Nigerian police would not do anything meaningful with the case, given the history of treating such bandits with kids' gloves. That he also believes that the police saying they are still being interrogated by our men is an alibi to free the bandits from the background. He ever confirmed that he promised to use his platform to continue to remind Nigerians. He said, he now went further to say, the things you need to do urgently about the situation is not advising Nigerians generally. He said you should not fear the bandits, that they want to instill fear in you. Then this one now said that we should be security conscious. He said report every suspicious person, presence, action, or movement. Remember, being security conscious is not the same as being afraid. Then the 3rd one, he said, I want to see one Nigerian community after another suing Miitiala for their flagrant trespassing of people's property. When Amotekun was formed, Miyetti Allah showed they know about the law by saying it was an illegal outfit. Now let Nigerians also sue them and join the federal government in the lawsuit as well. It said for contravening the trespass laws enshrined in our constitution as a nation. I mean that Miyetti Allah is known for trespassing into people's property, and that is illegal everywhere in the world, including Nigeria. It becomes even more illegal as cases of them being accused of murder, rape, vandalism during those cases of trespassing. They have also publicly threatened to dispose people of their property, which is another exhibit. I tell you that even the dumbest lawyer has a case here. Say now 4. He said, I'm not asking Nigerian communities to sue Miyetti Allah and the federal government because he hopes that he's saying that he's not asking Nigerians to sue Miyetti Allah and the federal government because of he's hoping that the justice will be done. But instead that it's for the records, so that when things get really bad and they want to make references to in the case for International Criminal Court of Justice, I'm talking about Hague, whenever they're going down to that international, there'll be evidence, there'll be evidences, there'll be exhibits to show for it. He now said that Nigeria, that's number 5, Nigeria should also come out to protest against Miyetti Allah's open threat and consequent attempt to dispossess millions of Nigerian communities of their properties. He said they should make demands such as stop open grazing immediately. He said they should also make demands like Miyetti Allah must stop trespassing into our landed property and so on. He said again, this is not hope that the federal government would listen to this demand, but he said but they are going to become valid points of reference when they go to the International Court of Justice in Hague. Note, we are working to take the case up and your little contributions are needed to help us have a good case. Wow, that's a long read, but it was worth it. Generally saying that Nigerians need to be red alert, that we are not, don't be relaxing, that things are happening. But before we go into analysis very quickly, let's take what Nigerians are saying. Honestly, Nigerians have seriously reacted to this. You know, this is a general phenomenon. This is a case that affects all regions. It's affecting Southwest, it's affecting Southeast, it's affecting South, it's affecting everyone. Okay, so it's now a national issue. Before that, it used to be 1 or 2 regional issue, but now it's not a national issue. You know, and it's quite good because let's be truthful. During the Jonathan's time, it was not like this. No, they had the Boko boys were actually contending with it. It wasn't even like this even during Jonathan's time. The Boko boys were not these, terrible then. But now it's out of hand. Now these Fulani herdsmen have joined, and it's crazy. Up till now, they have not been proscribed. But let's hear what Nigerians are generally saying online. So I say thank you and God bless you. Please do not relax on your pursuit for justice in the land. At least you have rekindled in the mind of some people that there are people trying to do something positive to our present situation. We will give you all the support. Thanks. So I said a very good analysis. Thanks so much. Even though we made a blunder by voting endemic enemies into power out of greed and ignorance, as people who claim to be educated and enlightened, it is our responsibility to be able to defend our people and God-given inheritance from the marauding Fulani invaders and ruthless jihadists. Posterity and history will never forgive us if we fail our generation. A radical sickness needs a radical treatment. We must be resolute and by all means possible defend our lands and generations yet unborn. That's a good one if you ask me. This one here says the purpose of establishing Amotekun is yielding the desired result. Good job there. This one here says, my brother, thank you very much. I've said this before that those Fulani you see in the street are not menial workers. They are all spies. You know, let me digress a little. That occurred to me severally. There's sometimes when I see some of these guys on the street, I feel very uncomfortable. I'm not trying to be I'm not a bigot here. I'm not an ethnic bigot. But honestly, sometimes I'm not comfortable with them, especially maybe on a lonely path. Something that happens and I see them coming. Sometimes they come as cobblers, as in all the shoemakers. I'm not referring to the houses, I'm referring to the Fulanis themselves. You know, shoemakers. Sometimes you see them, some of them are selling what's called sugar cane. Some of them, they even clean, they say they do pedicure, this local type. Each time I pass through this, I usually would tell even some areas, why do you allow them to hawk into your streets? Why don't you have some street ban or some sort? Don't allow them into the street. But then they know the place so well because they are selling product now, so to speak. Sometimes they even want to park some people's backyard. You may think it's nothing, but they're bit by bit insist. And I think it's high time, state governors ban them from moving street to street. Don't hawk. Have a shop, sell that. Anybody who wants to make shoe should come and meet you in your shop. Stop moving on around. I feel very uncomfortable when that's me, or honestly, I have that, I have that feeling too as well. This one here says, actually, hunting in the northern Nigeria is a very big profession, especially during the dry season because they are mostly farmers. But this writer is saying the truth. Okay, this one here. Okay, but that's how much we can take about the issue of Fulani herdsmen. He has said something quite unique. Report suspicious movement. The fact that these 13 hunters have come all the way Ekiti is quite a distance from Kano. Why move down to Ekiti? Why the southwest really? Are there no bushes in Kano? Even in Kaduna, all those northern places, must you migrate totally to a different region entirely? I tend to see reason with the writer, really. But there's really nothing wrong with being security conscious. If we have severally, spoken about the issue of Fulani herdsmen raping, maiming, killing, and, destroying farmlands, and the government of the day are paying deaf ears, to our complaints, and giving us lip services over whatever action they say they will take and they have never taken. I think the right thing, like the writer has said, is to start gathering evidences, because posterity, like you rightly said, will not, forgive us if we don't do the right thing at the right time. And now seems to be the right time to do everything. So yes, a lot of points he raised, I totally agree. There's need for us to begin to say we need Fulani herdsmen proscribed. If you can't fish out the bad eggs, by all means proscribe them. If it didn't take you anything to prescribe a very innocent set of persons who are just looking for secession, they have done you no harm, they have not killed, they have never maimed, all they wanted to do was to secede, and you prescribed them within 24 hours. How come it's taking you donkey years, with all the evidences and facts being presented by the whole regions in Nigeria, and yet you still have not prescribed Fulani herdsmen? So honestly, I think it's about time, evidences and should be gathered. If they won't do anything, then by all means, a good Nigerian, spirited Nigerian, or a corporate body should start thinking of taking them to the International Criminal Court. And with all these evidences, have we sued them to court? No. Is there any time we have put banners, posters, let it be online, as proof and evidences? Then we should be on course. Honestly, it is the die is cast. Nigeria needs to react. But that's my take on this. What do you think about what the writer said? Do you think what he said is right? Do you think Nigeria should be on red alert? Do you think we should start reporting? But obviously, reporting really doesn't make much difference with what I have seen, really. We have not seen a public display of what they have done to Fulani herdsmen that have been reported. So